All right, welcome everybody here to this week's showing of the IndyCar series here at Lanes Raceway, December the 10th, 2023. This is the second to the last race here, as we see some of our racers already getting their cars out there ready to go. We got Guillermo as our lineup on red, white, we got Randy, green, we got Nathaniel, Jay on orange, and Glenn on blue. Hopefully I can commentate a little bit more on the race. This IndyCar race got a little busy earlier. Nonetheless, we'll be getting started just as soon as Randy comes and gets his IndyCar. Don't forget, later on this evening, Ohio Valley Dirt on the Oval, also at 5 p.m., one of our more popular series. Just talked to the guys. I believe we're going to try to nail it down here for the next series. So far, everybody's in agreement. Group 12 for the GTP, and that can be a Hawk 6 can or a C-can, Featherlight C-can. We're going to do a Group 20 class for same type of can style for the wing car, which is going to be our Pro Series. And then we're going to do hard body FCR. So everybody that enters into the FCR will need a 1/24th, 1/25th scale NASCAR. It doesn't matter what generation. You can race one back from the 60s back to the 50s for all I care, but it has to be a NASCAR. And then in the 4-inch series, which is what the Ohio Valley late model series is, we're either going to continue running late models, which guys really adore, or we might end up doing like an asphalt open wheel. We haven't really decided yet. I'm going to let the guys make a decision on that, but that's what's coming up in January. The rules are basically the same, though, for the FCR series. 929 lock gear ratio in the rear, running stomp motors. So the only thing really changing is the motors for GTP, of course, and the bodies for that ensue. The bodies for GTP, of course, are winged on the side a little bit. Not like a wing car, but nonetheless, they are wing cars, I guess you would say. A little bit different than the L&P bodies. I guess you could run an L&P in a GTP, but you'd be at somewhat of a disadvantage not having the downforce needed in the sides. As soon as the guys are ready, I'll be right back with you, and we'll get to racing. All right, racers, watch your lights. And here we go, folks. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. We're going racing. As usual here at Lanes Raceway, We like those red lights dropping out to green. We also like to see guys keep their cars on. Not usually a problem in the IndyCar Series. Breakout of 1.5 seconds in the IndyCar Series. Lock gear ratio, I think it's 11 or 1237, whatever the cars come with, straight from JK. As we can see, Glenn Burden out in the lead right now, followed by Guillermo Sire, Nathaniel Burden, and Jay Latham just having a little bit of a spill there on orange as he gets reset. When the cars come off, they go back to the start-finish line. You guys know the routine. Focusing in here on blue lane right now. Now to green lane as Nathaniel Burden's out in the lead. Running in front of the pack there, right behind him, Guillermo Sire, and Glenn Burden's taking back over the lead as he hits that blue lane perfectly. Glenn Burden there, his car, the pink and white Ralph Thorne high downforce body from Ralph Thorne, of course. Open wheel style racing here at Lanes Raceway. You can see it can be somewhat fast. We were actually a little bit slower when we were running the Hawk 7s, but now that we started running the Eagle motors, the cars are a little bit more smoother here on the oval track, as you can tell. But the trade-off is on the orange track, they're a little too fast. They end up coming out down on the lower lanes a lot of the times. But a lot of close racing here as we see Glenn Burden letting off a little bit to not come into contact with Jay Latham. Probably needs to push as hard as he can while he can, try to get up underneath Jay. Him and Jay both running for the series championship in points, and they're quite close with one another. Just above them on green lane is Nathaniel Burden as they come into a little traffic with him. Both of them getting a nice clean pass there. Looks like Glenn still fighting their neck and neck with Jay Latham, just trying not to get in front of that back end. It's probably a good choice here as we see another group coming up behind them. Nathaniel Burden in that group with Guillermo Sire and Randy Kirtley up on red and white. But still down low there on blue lane, Glenn Burden holding it down, staying in the lead. He's got about a lap and a half lead on everybody. Just hanging out right behind Jay Latham, getting those successful laps turned. No incidents taking place. Him and Jay both got some pretty speedy little cars here. As they come up behind Guillermo Sire there on red lane, getting ready to make a pass. So we see a car go to the high outside and fly to the end. We're going to get a lap or lane rotation, so pretty good for whoever came off. Glenn Burden there, of course, 68 total laps. He's out in the lead by 2. Jay Latham and Nathaniel Burden both tied it up with 66. 65, Guillermo Sire up high on red lane, and 62 for Randy Kirtley up high on white lane. Heading over here to the player cards, we can take a quick look here between Jay Latham and Glenn Burden. So we see Jay Latham here was a champion of the Rookie Rumble last season, in 2023 Rookie Rumble. He finished 6th place in the LMP Thunder, which was our pro class. Of course, you guys know his quote by now, "I beat you." But right now, he's currently in 1st place, Fairview IT Cup Series, coming into the last race here today. We'll see if he can hang on to that. Today is the last day for the Fairview IT Cup race. Now, that's coming up at 7 o'clock p.m. He's also currently 1st place here in the IndyCar Series, so he's definitely wanting to finish a little high on the hog here for the Indy coming into the end of it. 2nd place in the Late Model Series, and currently 1st place in the Four Crowns points-wise with 2360. Now, looking at Glenn Burden, he's right there behind him. Glenn Burden there, of course, has the Cup Series at 2nd place, and he's coming into his last race today here also in the Fairview IT Cup Series. And he's 2nd place today in the IndyCar, wanting to finish in front of Jay for sure. He finished in 4th place on the LMP Thunder Series, and in the Rookie Rumble last season, he finished 8th. But Glenn, he's an all-around character here at Lanes Raceway. As you can see, he's in every one of the series here, currently 2nd in the Four Crowns. But he's a pinball connoisseur, too. He was the one that able to snag that Jurassic Park 30th anniversary badge here at Lanes Raceway for $100, making him the champ over that in October. About 50 seconds left, and we'll be right back with you. I'm going to leave you guys here with the pit cam, and you can watch these guys hard at work. right, folks, it looks like we're about to see those red lights. 4 red lights drop out to a green, and we're going back racing here at Lanes Raceway. Current leader right now, Glenn Burden, with 69 laps. He was asking a question here during the break. He was saying something about usually it takes a little bit of time for that delay to hit, but he was asking if I had a delay in the button. I haven't changed anything from last week. I think everything's still set the same. The only thing I changed a while ago was the 1.5 second lap time breakout for this class. Other than that, everything's on the up and up, and everything's good. We see Glenn Burden there getting dangerously close to the breakout there with 1.567 down on purple, but he's still hanging in there, holding it down, getting those changes here. Nathaniel and Guillermo, we see Guillermo making a step up in front of Jay Latham there. Jay Latham now on white lane as he steps up to the higher side. Guillermo's able to make an advantage there. Nathaniel Burden currently in second place. He's another one that's fighting for position here in late for the Four Crowns Championship. Don't forget, at the end of the Four Crown Championship, everybody that was invested in all 4 classes for the Four Crown Championship is going to get a Ingram shirt with their name on it and where they finished positionally in all 4 of the series classes. So that's pretty exciting for those guys. Now, of course, we'll get the points and stuff updated final day right at the end to kind of pretty much sanction it to where they came into place. We'll put that on Facebook first. But then when we have you guys watch the live stream, you'll know who's going to finish. But still, tune in to the banquet. The guys will say some parting words for the series as we move on into our next series. And this one's a big one, folks. This is the Four Crowns. It's going to last all year long for those that will crown themselves in that series and for the championship. So this is what we will be handing down a kingship, I guess you would say, here at Lanes Raceway for a solid year up until next fall season. Glenn Burden out in the lead now by about right at 10 laps with 144 total laps, followed by Nathaniel Burden with 135. We can see both these guys running in blue lane. Glenn was 1 lap down from Nathaniel, so we might see a little change in pace here as we continue on. Guillermo Sire there, 65 for his first heat there on red lane. Randy Kirtley a couple laps down from that on red. We see Guillermo turning a couple laps higher than Nathaniel. So this might be a change in position between Nathaniel and Guillermo as we continue on. Jay Latham with an impressive 65 laps, gaining a couple laps on Randy Kirtley up high on white lane and turning 66 laps, about the same as what Nathaniel turned up on green lane. So very, very close racing, 135, 133, 131, 125. That's second all the way down to 5th. As we go here to the current standings here in the IndyCar Series, we can see Jay Latham currently in first, Glenn Burden in second, Nathaniel Burden in third, and Garrett Burden in fourth. Those are your current standings so far here in the IndyCar Pro Series. And like I said, it's a nail biter between Jay Latham and Glenn Burden. Nathaniel Burden wanting to get his nose here in it in the last couple races here. Of course, we got this weekend and one championship Sunday next weekend. I know I told you last week that Blake Smith, radio host of Let's Talk Racing, was going to be here, but he's actually didn't check his schedule, and he's going to be at St. Louis for the dirt race, so we won't be seeing him. But nonetheless, I'll be here for you. I know it's kind of disappointing. I know all the guys are kind of disappointed too. Looks like for championship banquet, when it's all said and done, we're going to end up having Subway here at Lanes Raceway. It looks like everybody just wants to continue to have it here at Lanes Raceway for the live stream purpose and everything. We were deciding whether or not we were just going to go out and eat. And everybody is just like, no, I'd rather live stream it, be about part of history and stuff like that, about how we've came here at Lanes Raceway. So we're going to have it here, have a little Subway action, local Subway down here in Livermore. I believe the 17th, too, we're going to have pizza championship night, and that's going to be brought to us by Bridgeview Pizza in Island, Kentucky. I need to make that call. Eric, the owner of Bridgeview Pizza, give him a call, especially for your pizza needs, for sure. But I I got to give him a call. He told me to call him sometime in December, and he was going to sponsor a race for us. I thought, well, what better than championship night? Guys get 2 banquets, basically. So they're going to eat a little pizza from Bridgeview, and it's good pizza. I love their crust. And, you know, then we'll have a banquet afterwards when we schedule it, and we'll give away shirts. We'll give away cash prizes. We'll crown all of our winners from each one of our series, and it'll just be a great celebration. I love, just like I love the start of a series, I love the end of a series too. It just new growth. We're going to be going into some new series. It's going to be quite fun. Glenn Burden there right now, still holding it down by 10 laps, 164 down on black. Glenn loves down on black, so we see him coming to approach Nathaniel Burden, the guy in second. And he makes the pass, and he does it nice as Nathaniel gives him just a little bit of leeway there going into Dead Man's Corner. But Glenn Burden's IndyCar really screaming today. Something interesting about the top 2, Glenn and Nathaniel Burden, both had both of their NASCARs worked on last week to get ready for the Fairview IT Cup Series. So we'll see how well they perform today. They were quite bent, and I can't remember if we replaced motors or not. I think we might have. I'm not for sure. But nonetheless, we did a full tear down and got them straightened up for the final race, Fairview IT Cup Series. And, of course, we appreciate all the guys bringing their stuff in here for us to work on it. It helps us get a little bit of money here for the hobby shop. And also we can get some of that money back out to the racers if possible. Glenn Burden, of course, right now hitting that 200 mark. 10 laps down from him is Nathaniel Burden. Guillermo Sire coming up a little bit, but not as successful as he was the previous heat. There on Blue Lane, 4 laps. He's a couple laps down this heat. Nathaniel Burden running an impressive purple lane as he gets a little bit of hiccup there, but then takes it back. But now Glenn Burden's car just so much faster that there was really nothing he could really do there. Here at Lanes Raceway, of course, you guys know we have the chat up here. I don't even think I have it set right now, but yeah, I don't. So give me 1 second here. If you guys want to chat, you can always do that here. All right, chat is live for YouTube. And it's fixed to be live for Twitch. And it is now live for Twitch. So at any time you guys want to chat, I'm here. We'll continually come back to the main screen here, and you can check that out, and we'll read your chats. 219 for Glenn Burden, Nathaniel Burden 207, 203 for Guillermo, as they're getting pretty close together there. Jay Latham 195 battling out with Randy with 190. Doing a little bit of comparison here, Randy Kirtley struggling there on green lane as he dropped off a lap or so from Nathaniel Burden. It's fast and furious work here, especially after round robin 3 here. We see Glenn Burden turn to impress 75 laps there on black. His best 76 there on purple, though. Nonetheless, what a great heat for him. 1 minute and 43 seconds. We'll be back racing with you, and we will check the chat before we start racing. Today, I'm drinking a Canadian clearly Canadian country raspberry. For all those that kind of keep up with what I drink. I haven't really said much about what I've been drinking here lately. It's just been Pepsis and stuff. So, something a little new here. Check that out, definitely, if you like flavored water. Now, it's not the non-flavored citrus water or whatever, but it's flavored. It tastes pretty good. We are going into the 4th round robin here in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. We'll be right back with you. light, folks. You know the deal. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're going back racing. Currently, Glenn Burden is out in the lead. We'll see if he can hang on to it here. Now he's on yellow lane. Nathaniel Burden's going to take over the bottom side and try to gain some. We see a crash there to the outside. That is either Nathaniel Burden or Guillermo Sire. They're both got red cars. Right before the start of the race, Guillermo Sire, he painted him some paint in the front to distinguish between him and Nathaniel Burden. So we see him coming off again. Maybe some issues there with his car. Or no, I think this time that was Nathaniel. Yeah. So 2 cars coming off there. And they're going to go back to the start-finish line. Your leader, Glenn Burden, though, right there below Randy Kirtley. And he done told everybody here today, right when he walked in, he says, I'm not letting off for nobody. I'm going hard, folks. And he needs to. Fighting for that upper position for first place, excuse me. The Clearly Canadians giving me a little indigestion here, a little bubbly, but nonetheless, he needs to fight for that front position. You know, get out there in front of Jay. He's got to make some moves here, and he's got to do it quick. He's got 2 more race weekends to do it in, and he's going to have to make it happen here now. So Glenn Burden there to the outside, him and Jay Latham both. So if he was going to wreck anybody, it needed to be Jay Latham. So that's not bad because he is fighting with Jay Latham currently right now in the points for the championship. He's second place. Jay Latham's first. You guys seen it earlier in the stream when we checked out where they are located points-wise. Now, all that stuff's going to get updated this weekend. We're going to actually decorate a little bit for Christmas coming up for our championship night. And try to have a little bit of fun on the championship night. Maybe do a little giveaways for some of the racers and stuff like that. I know they appreciate that. And we always like giving stuff out here at Lanes Raceway. Glenn Burden really holding it down there on yellow lane, but he sees a car there underneath him. Guillermo Sire, he's coming to really rush him. We'll see if they make a nice clean pass or, yep, a nice one. Nice one. Very nice. As Guillermo makes that inside draw. Now they're on the outside on blue. Glenn Burden also making a nice clean draw there on Randy Kirtley. With Glenn Burden doing the best he can there on yellow lane, holding it down, and his car's nice and smooth as we can tell. A lot of these guys burning them tires down, barely passing tech. They're coming into the final. They don't want to change tires out. They want to be as low as possible to be able to get as much handling and as much top speed as possible. As we see another nice transition there between Glenn Burden and Randy Kirtley. Coming up behind Glenn, though, we got Guillermo Sire. Will Guillermo pass him clean? He does not, and he sends Glenn Burden to the outside wall there. But Glenn was really quick on the button and got his car off the tick there, so it won't be too bad. 3 cars involved in the incident on that one. Looks like Guillermo Sire and Jay Latham are the only 2 to survive that. As you can see, our lonely little VR setup there, a lot of people been investing in that. Our $35 a month plan here, you can just come in and play all that you want. And we've been pretty successful in that in the past couple of days. Today, not so many people getting on it, and there's one reason. We are live streaming on that computer. So they're not allowed to use it while we live stream. But other than that, you know, the live streams and stuff are going to be cut a little bit shy here in the next week. It'll be our last live stream for a couple weeks until we get a new series going. So, you know, the guys will be down on it whenever they can, for sure. There was somebody in it all day yesterday, all the way up till we closed. We ended up getting out here about 10:45 last night, so a little bit later than we were supposed to, but nonetheless, the guys were having fun, and so were we. And we see, oh, is this a full J? No, looks like Randy Kirtley survived it, but everybody else didn't. Nathaniel's got his hands full as he brings those cars around. So, yeah, definitely, you know, if you're looking for some cheap entertainment all month long and you want to get involved in maybe some of our competitions and stuff, you definitely want to come down here. We got a nice little racing setup there. You see with the force feedback steering wheel. We got iRacing and a couple other racing games that the kids like. That's what we have our competitions on, is the iRacing. Heading over to the track mate, Glenn Burden still holding it down a little over 10 laps. So he did quite well there in that heat. Guillermo Sire there, of course, only able to turn 74 there on purple lane. So Glenn Burden definitely with the advantage. Glenn Burden strong here today, 72.2 on average. Third place there, Nathaniel Burden with 277. As he's down a couple laps off purple. Purple and black usually the signifiers of how well you're going to end up turning out doing here on the Indy Series. Jay Latham yet to run any of his lower lanes, but he's going to come in after this one on his round robin 5 and start running some of those lower lanes. We can see that Jay Latham is definitely competitive here. 65 laps there on white and 64 there on red. Those are times very close to what we see Guillermo running. But nonetheless, you know, a little yin, a little yang, as we can see here. Jay Latham on one side of the board, Glenn Burden on the other. Both of these guys heavy hitters for the end of the series. I'll take you over here to the pinball cam and let you watch them work. And we'll be right back with you in about a minute and 45 seconds. All right, folks, I forgot. We are going to check the chat. Well, it says, hey, it's me, T. Hi, Donnie. Hello, T. We will check the chat every transition. Of course, sometimes I forget, though. So just bear in mind that I forget. 56 seconds left to go. Pretty exciting race weekend. Like I said, a lot of people come in yesterday, just a little bit of talking about the VR setup and everything. Now, it's both VR and it's the latest VR. So it's Vario Aero. It's the headset that we use here. And we got a 4090 Supram video card. Like, I'm talking the top of the line setup that you can have. Garrett Burden out here playing on the links yesterday. He was playing a little golf game, and he says, this reminds me why I quit golf. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, it's tough. You can set it, though, to play it like Wii golf, where that you can put it at like 200% power and barely touch the ball and it go all the way to the green. But if you set it on realistic, it's pretty realistic. I would say it rivals golf simulators for sure. And it's pretty fun. I think we put a little video up on TikTok, and we also showed Jordan dancing, shooting zombies the other day. So, you know, there's plenty of stuff you can do on that. And don't forget about our birthday packages here at Lanes Raceway. Also, $200 birthday private event package here at Lanes Raceway. And you can do it for free during that package event time. And you get time to set up and everything. 8 cars, 8 controllers. And it's a great time of year to have parties. You know, you got Christmas, New Year's, and we will definitely cater to you, as that helps us keep the lights on here. You know, we love doing parties, and we always like a lively environment. As you can see, we got the Christmas lights going on here on the oval today. So we are very festive. We're listening to 1940s and 50s and 60s Christmas music out there. Some Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer action going on. And the guys definitely don't look like they're in the Christmas spirit. They're more in the cutthroat spirit as we get back to racing here. Glenn Burden, 314 laps. Guillermo Sire, 308. As Guillermo Sire breaks out that lap there on black. Breakout times, of course, 1.5 second total. Nathaniel Burden there with 3:11 in third place, keeping these guys really tight knit. Something that we will definitely continue in the future for sure is these breakout times. I think it brings the guys a lot closer, helps everybody kind of progress together as a whole, and it makes for really tight racing, which I love. And I think, you know, doing that with the C-Can motors and the Hawk type can motors and stuff coming up in the future in the GTP class, we're going to hear some screaming cars, folks. And we're going to hear some screaming wing cars for the first time. Running Group 20 stuff here. It's about the limit that you can run on the orange track. Now, you definitely have to have, if you're going to run in the wing car class, you have to have a 270 or above digital DeFalco controller here at Lanes Raceway to be able to run that, or efficient controller, whether it be a Karlstein or a Third Eye or some other type of digital controller that's able to take that kind of heat, because you know, you're getting to the point there to where you're up Group 27, Group 7 style classes. They'll end up burning controllers down. So you can't have a rookie controller like a Neo 17 for sure. You'll burn that baby right to the ground. But I think these guys are wanting to step it up, and I think in the future we're going to go brushless. Now that'll be about springtime. I think we're going to get some cars in for brushless type stuff, whether it be brushless drag cars or brushless roundy cars for sure. So we're pretty excited about that. I know Jay Latham's got a Lucky 7 chassis coming. He might actually run that in the hard body. Glenn Burden holding it down. He got her dropped to 4 laps after that heat, and Guillermo running an impressive 77 laps, 2 laps above Glenn there on black lane. So pretty tough there as he gains a couple more laps like he did there on blue lane. Glenn Burden just hanging on for his life here, 71.6. But if I know Glenn, he's got those top 3 lanes, and he's got a secret up his sleeve. He's going to hang this baby in there for sure, doing quite well. Nathaniel Burden there dropping to 3rd place with 348. See Randy Kirtley and Jay Latham down there towards the bottom, both 329. But Randy Kirtley got 2 lanes there at the bottom, and Jay's got a total of 3 lanes, and he's already running a pretty impressive blue lane there for his bottom lane. 69 total laps, only 1 off of Guillermo Sire, tying up with Nathaniel Burden's really quick and impressive time also on blue. So, like I said, really close racing, 358 to 329, a difference of 20 or so laps from top to bottom. You can't beat that. So, let me see if you guys maybe can spy over here on some of these guys, some of the secrets these guys are using to make these cars so fast and stay within the limits. And I'll be back with you in a minute and 30 seconds. All right, here we go. 4 red lights drop out to green. We're back green racing. Can Glenn Burden hang on to it just for a little longer? It's anyone's guess. Right now, 363 total laps up there on white, and he's humming, folks. As you can see here, even though he's up on white lane, he's still keeping up there, making these guys maybe get about 4 or 5 car lengths per lap on him. So as long as he can hang it in there, I think he's going to be very impressed with the lap turnout there on white. Plus, not to mention that the rest of the guys are bunched up down low. Down on black lane, we got Randy Kirtley right now currently. Up on purple lane, we have Jay Latham with 355 tied up with Randy. Both of them running there neck and neck. There on yellow, we have Guillermo Sire, the one trying to catch Glenn Burden if he can. And was able to get 3 laps so far this heat. So probably looking at about 6 laps by the end of it is what he'll end up catching Glenn, and we'll see a little change in first place to Glenn going to second. But what Glenn is trying to do is fend off Jay Latham. As Guillermo Sire lost a couple race weekends here the past couple from being sick, and that pretty much dropped Guillermo probably out of the runnings for number 1 position. But Jay Latham, Nathaniel Burden, Randy Kirtley, and Glenn, they're all fighting for those positions as it comes down to the wire here. Who's going to be king of Lanes Raceway. 8 seconds left to go in this heat, and Guillermo, just like I said, has taken over that lead. And it looks like Guillermo is going to finish up that heat there with 62 total laps. I almost feel like maybe we lost some time there. We might have. Because Randy only turned in 62 laps there on black. It looks like we're back into the glitchiness that is TrackMate software here. So I believe we probably did end up losing a little bit of time here. So I'm going to have to go back and work on getting all that worked on again and fixed. So that's pretty annoying. Nonetheless, we'll head over here to the main screen. No new chats. So we'll head over to Cam 2, let you guys see what's going on here and figure it out. We'll just have to go back to the live stream, it looks like. There ain't no way we're going to be able to reset the heat and run it again, I don't believe, as it's already over with. But nonetheless, we are locked in here, and I'll be right back with you. All right, folks, here we go. And it was a little bit of loss of time. Guillermo Sire coming in here, checking it out. And I just told him, I said, yeah, we'll figure it out. And we'll do the same thing that we always do. Is we see somebody left their card there on Dead Man's Corner, their sticker card there. But thank goodness it's in green lane. It's only causing Guillermo a little bit of trouble, it looks like. But now it's completely out of the way. So hopefully that straightens up. We got 2 more heats left to go. Guillermo's out in the lead as we get a wreck to the outside wall there. And look at Guillermo, or Glenn Burton's car. Well, I guess that he's off the track there. But it looked like he was pulling a drift move there on white lane. Glenn Burton actually on red lane. Randy Kirtley there on yellow, down low on black. Now Jay Latham. And Jay Latham right now currently turned the most laps with 13 so far. Jay Latham getting his sticker on. I guess that was Jay's sticker card that was left. So Nathaniel and Glenn both getting placed back at the start-finish line. Right behind them on orange lane is Guillermo. Right now it's 3:45 p.m. Our next race starts at 5, and that'll be Ohio Valley Dirt late model on the oval. And then shortly right after that, we'll be doing the Fairview IT Cup on the oval. And, you know, we got one more race very similar to this one. It's going to be very tight, very close racing. And then the Fairview IT Cup is a knockout, drag-out brawl here at Lanes Raceway. A little bit of glitch there in the software. It doesn't look like they lost any time, but man, there's something going on with the lap counting and stuff that is taking place on the software now. This could be from where we are remoting into the computer. The computer may just not be able to take all this processing. We might just need to focus on maybe possibly getting a new computer for this track, because we don't have the issues that we have with this track as we do the orange track. But it could be a multiple of things. It's just one thing after another. It seems like you got to fix at a track when you definitely getting started. Glad that after the first year, some of the headaches have gone away and it's gotten a whole lot more relaxed. But I remember first starting out, it was day after day there was something going on. I was constantly down here for 12, 14 hours a day a lot of the times trying to fix something. 2 seconds left to go in this heat, and we already got a car flying off the Richter scales there. I think that might be Nathaniel Burden's car there coming off on white. Too much torque, folks. Too much torque. And at the end of that heat, looks like Guillermo Sire, 7 laps gained on that one. 487 total laps. He's out in the lead. Glenn Burden right there behind him with 480. As Glenn Burden, he is now going to go down into green lane and try to make up some of that time. But probably not going to catch Guillermo, but it'll be pretty close, as they lost quite a bit of time there whenever Glenn was on white lane. So we'll see. Like I said, none of these are final. We'll have to go back and check the software for the 6th heat and make sure that the time lost gets added up. And like I said, last couple times it's happened like this, there really wasn't a change in position. So we'll see how things work, and there may be a change. We just don't know yet. But right now, Glenn Burden in second place. He's got a fighting chance here, numbers-wise, and we'll see how things go. Going over to the pinball cam and let you guys watch these guys work hard, and be right back with you. All right, folks, 3 seconds left to go before we go back green racing. This is it. This is the final heat, the final of the Mohicans. Jay Latham and Glenn Burden, your top points leaders in this class, followed by Nathaniel Burden. So Glenn Burden has a chance to gain a big boost here on Jay Latham, maybe take over that first position, as he's in second place. Jay all the way down into fourth place currently. But we'll see if Jay maybe will be able to take back some of those laps on Nathaniel, and it'll be a 1-2-3 scenario here. If Glenn Burden plays his cards right and really hammers it home and doesn't give the what for, he may be able to actually catch Guillermo Sire. Guillermo Sire there up on the white lane, though, really hammering it home. He's kind of staying right behind Glenn Burden as they run pretty much neck and neck. It looks like he's actually catching Glenn. As it looks like 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go in the heat. Guillermo Sire is out in the lead. 524 total laps. Glenn Burden 518, Jay Latham 506, Nathaniel Burden 505, Randy Kirtley 498. And this is all after every one of them taking a pretty big hit when it comes to the one heat. It looks like Jay Latham was able to capitalize over Nathaniel Burden there, taking back third place. So it's still going to be Glenn and Jay neck and neck as we come into the final race weekend here for the Indy. And we're going to finish up there on the orange. Guillermo Sire there, of course, going to bring home the victory today, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for Guillermo as he missed a couple weeks there from being sick. Glenn Burden and Guillermo Sire running right at the best medians, neck and neck there. And Jay Latham, 1.7s all around the board there. It's pretty impressive to run a 1.7 up so high on white lane. As we see Nathaniel Burden running 1.862. Randy Kirtley's IndyCar may be on its dying leg there. 1.855 on the orange. That's almost unacceptable. It's running so slow. So after that, we'll be getting some pictures made here, of course, as we head over to the track made. You can see the final results there. These are the semi-final results, I guess, as we're going to have to go back and do a little bit of math work. But for the time being, just to get picture purposes here at Lanes Raceway, Guillermo Sire first place, Glenn Burden second, and Jay Latham third. If that changes, of course, we will change the results in the picture. All right, Guillermo Sire, Glenn Burden, and Jay Latham, if you would, please go up for your pictures. But we do know that there's a little bit of an error taking place there, what looks to be on the sixth heat. And this, of course, cost Randy Kirtley the most. He had 62 laps, down several laps from Guillermo and everything. But we'll get all this stuff straightened out, and we may have to change what the pictures say. You guys know how it is here at Lanes Raceway. A lot of the times we have a lot of issues with the oval track for some reason in the software accountant. We've checked all the connections. We've redone all the connections, and it doesn't seem like anything's to fix it. We've even reinstalled the software, did all the latest updates. I just almost think it might be the computer, so we might have to build another computer to get that fixed. Nonetheless, that's it for the Indy on the oval here, the 10th. We got one more time at it, folks, and that's it. And that'll be the end of the series. But until then, come back and join us here at 5 o'clock for the Ohio Valley Lawn Care Late Model Series and join in on the fun for that. This is